what's your name?
Carl Anton.
Carl Anton, right. Why are you here today?
I'm here to support the programme events today.
Yes.
From the University of Cumbria's perspective, so working with young people.
And what does the University of Cumbria help young people? How does it help young people?
Well, in my role, I'm a WP Access Officer, so we've got a set of target schools, so we work with both pre-16 and post-16 target schools, and run activity both in school and at the university to raise aspirations. So we run workshops right from year 7 through to year 13.
I'm Nancy Hartness from Turners College, and thanks for your time.
Cool.
Thank you. Hi, so what's your name?
My name's Alistair Clark, Skills and Development Advisor from Inspire.
Alright, why are you here today?
Well, it's part of the Skills Fest here. We run a lot of the youth work projects and stuff, so I'm here talking about some of the youth work we're doing, which is specifically here is stuff around reducing risk-taking behaviour around alcohol.
Alright, okay, and what does Inspire do to help young people?
Well, basically, we are in pretty much every school we do 11 to 19 year olds youth work. We do information, advice and guidance drop-in services actually in Dalton Road, and offices in Dalton Road. We run Right Track, which is a psychometric testing. We work with young people in care, getting them out into the sort of the real world, getting them jobs, finding them employment and education, and just generally all round good eggs.
So these are jobs, if you look at that list, it's not all degree, it's not all very high skilled, although a lot of it is. It's not all technical, although a lot of it is. It can be things as varied as being a pharmacist, handing out drugs and medicines to people, which would need a science degree, to being a butcher, and there's a shortage at the moment in both those areas. So it's not all about having to go to university, although the majority of these jobs are. And it's about how the world of work is changing. If you look at the geoscientist, geotechnical engineer and geophysicist on the second row, that's all about the desperate search there is now for oil and gas. That is probably the industry at the moment that's recruiting most engineers, for example. And there's a huge emphasis in Lancashire with the subsea gas exploration. Who knows the number of jobs that might be creating. There's also the energy industry, and there's the nuclear industry and the energy coast in the west of Cumbria. But that list also includes health and social care professionals, nurses. There's a career there that almost nobody's heard of. Has anyone heard of orthoptist, which is the third career down on the right? Anyone heard what an orthoptist? Somebody has, yeah. An orthoptist works in the hospital. Well, you're the first person ever heard of that. And they work on the sort of muscular structure of the eye. There's been a demand for orthoptists for many years. But contrast that with, as I say, being a chef or being a care assistant, where you don't need necessarily many qualifications, but you need a personality and you need the kind of social skills to be a care assistant. So those are areas, and there's quite a big list, where there's a demand now, and there'll be a demand in 2020. There's 30,000 jobs in Furness, 300,000 jobs in Cumbria. Furness is unusual. We have 3 times more manufacturing jobs than an average in the UK. Other examples about our job market, there's 200 apprenticeships every year that you can go for if you're a school leaver, but we have 1,000 school leavers every year. So that's a 5 to 1 odds. A large percentage of our jobs, 80%, are in the service industries, the care sector, customer care and hospitality. They're not the highest paid jobs, but they are by far and away the largest sector. If we're looking at that sector, it's important that you become the supervisors and the managers, so you get a living wage in that sector. So that's where training comes in. In our area, we have 9 people claiming benefit for every 1 vacancy on a typical week. And that compares nationally with about 4 people for every 1 vacancy. But in Kendal, 30 miles up the road, it's 2 to every 1 vacancy. So we're very close to a very affluent or a very job-rich town, Kendal. But then again, can we access those jobs? These are our top 10, I'll just whiz through this. This is our top 10 areas in job market by numbers of jobs. Manufacturing and advanced engineering, we've obviously got BAE Systems. That's the only place in the UK that can build submarines. It's not going anywhere. There'll always be demand for submarines, and there's all the future orders for the Trident submarine. There's also advanced engineering, subsea technology, like Acrostyle, Tritech, Siemens, Tronic. We've got a very, very rich engineering sector in Furness. But contrast with 15 miles up the road, that's the Swan Hotel. It could be the Lakeside Hotel, the Netherwood Hotel in Grange, South Lakes, creating many, many jobs. Now, some of those jobs are quite low paid, but they are jobs, and they're entry-level jobs, and that could take you into management. 10 or 15 years down the road, you could start in that industry and be a better paid manager. Retail is suffering in our town. It's suffering partly because more and more people buy through the internet. There are other reasons why retail is suffering nationally because of the economy. Our second biggest employer is the health hospital sector, and that's jobs from everything from, importantly, people who keep the wards clean, to more senior jobs, radiographers, nurses, doctors, dentists, pharmacists, orthoptists. And they're our second biggest employer. Many people don't realise that. And those jobs, again, are not going anywhere because we're becoming an elderly population in this area. And that leads on to elderly care. Elderly care is interesting because we are an increasingly old population, and there are increasing numbers of jobs for care assistants. They don't require particular qualifications other than having the people skills that are needed. And if there was a job in elderly care homes, you might get 3 or 4 people applying for every one job. If you contrast that with working at Kimberley-Clark, where they typically get over 150 applicants for 6 jobs. So you can see the difference in the number of people who apply. If you're interested in working in elderly care, you have less competition. The big issue about Furness is we don't have a huge number of offices or businesses that require people to do business type work. Marketing managers, accountants, lawyers, and that's why we lose so many graduates. They go to where those jobs are in Manchester and Liverpool and Leeds and London. And that's always been a problem in Barrow. We have a gradual loss of graduates because we don't have the type of work that a lot of graduates move into, which is office-based administration and business services. Childcare, we've got a baby boom at the moment. It's been going on for 3 or 4 years. And I'll talk about that in a minute. And construction's actually had 4 or 5 years of a really bad, torrid time. But now the government are doing things which are actually making infrastructure happen in the UK. That's new railways, bridges, roads, docks, harbours. And people are buying houses again. It's starting to be a sign the building industry is coming back. And that'll be increasing demand for building workers. Education's our 9th biggest industry, and the primary sector will benefit by a baby boom that's happening now. And number 10 is customer service, where you've got to have the kind of quality that will be able to smile at a customer if you've got a headache or you've had a bad fallout with your boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever. You have to pay, so it's not necessarily qualifications, it's personal ability.
Hello there, what's your name?
My name is Sophie.
Okay, what age are you?
I'm 25.
Okay. Do you have a job?
I do, yes.
Great! How far away is your job from your home?
I don't know, 10 minutes walk.
Do you need transport to get to your job?
Well, I could walk, but it would take a long time. So, yeah, I prefer to get transport.
Do you think there are enough jobs around for young people today?
No.
I don't either.
Okay then.
Good. What sites have you been on looking for jobs?
I found the Job Centre is a good website because
Yeah.
they've always got things posted on slots free. Direct Gov.
Yeah, that's good, that, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Alright,
And then
thank
there's,
you. Oh,
and then
sorry.
there's Indeed.co.uk, which is
Is
also
there?
a good website.
Just, have you got any more? Because I need to go with these.
No,
Alright. Thank you for your time.